Mr. Wolff, thank you for coming to our studio.
You're very welcome. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Your speech that you delivered at the Terena Networking Conference this year was about NRANs 3.0. So my first question is, what are NRANs 3.0 and what are the biggest challenges for them?
Well, the name was chosen pretty much tongue-in-cheek because we are Internet2 in the United States. And what I was trying to indicate, trying to show by that name was that we're trying to think ahead. What is the next generation of our network going to look like? What are the challenges and opportunities that we face?
How globalization, for example, influences NRANs?
Well, it has always been the case that research has been global, but that is even more the case nowadays. The growth in team science, teams are assembled from all over the world. The Large Hadron Collider, for example, had scientists from 36 countries participating. So globalization is a challenge because it means that we have got to maintain good relations, both technical, administrative, and social, with NRANs in all parts of the world.
We also deal with a great amount of big data. How does that change the situation?
Well, this is the driving factor behind many of the challenges that we face today. Data, both the accumulation of data and the amount of data being transmitted is growing at a rate that is sometimes in excess of 5 times per year. So this is much, much faster than Moore's Law. It is not only difficult, but in fact impossible for network transmission speeds to keep up with the growth of data. And so, whereas in the past, we could sort of count on getting faster and faster networks to move data around, now we are forced to adopt new techniques and new technologies to cope with the fact that data are essentially immobile.
NRANs are now more services-oriented than network-oriented. So my question is, if those services should be developed, should be oriented at users, or should NRANs plan on joint roadmaps to develop new services?
Well, I think there have to be aspects of both. Any organization that is completely driven by its users is always behind, because there's always things being asked for that they don't have. Any organization that ignores its users is, of course, going to be non-functional. What we find is particularly effective are conferences like the TNC, where NRANs get together and exchange views and needs and desires and future plans.
In your speech, you also mentioned a data distribution importance. How important is that?
One of the consequences of team science is that data for a particular science project may be generated all over the world, as it is for the Square Kilometer Array or any of the radio telescopes or the gravitational wave detector. Data are generated all over the world, but the analysis has got to take place in fewer places. So it is absolutely essential that we develop technologies and strategies for moving data around in an optimal way for computation and scientific results.
Thank you for the interview.
You're very welcome. Thank you for asking.